Hey, so finally gonna talk to you guys about how I feel about Halo Infinite. I'll just say right off at the beginning, I really like the game. After playing the multiplayer beta and after seeing the campaign footage that we saw this year, even though it was very short, it wasn't much of anything, but there was a few moments in there that gave me a whole lot of hope for the campaign, and I think it'll be really good. If you can, well, it should go without saying, but you know, if you have any spoilers and you know about it, I don't want to know about it, and unless someone's asking in the comments, don't let them know about it either, please. So anyway, first thing I'm just gonna talk about is Sprint, because I've been playing Halo for about 20 years at this point, so you know, I have a good amount of experience with playing Halo with and without Sprint, and it's been a 10, I think. Even split, about 10 years with and 10 years without Sprint, so overall, at least in the past 10 years, I feel like Sprint's hurt Halo more than it's helped it. I've said this before, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, both, in my mind anyway, proved that Halo can live without Sprint. Like, it's not necessary. I don't know, like, I don't think those games sold, like, 47 million copies or anything like that, but they're loved enough and they definitely sold well enough. And gameplay, like, I feel like the gameplay in Doom Eternal and Halo, like, well, not Doom Eternal, Doom and Halo, they come from somewhat similar eras anyway, and it's just like that whole idea of, like, arena combat is what everyone calls it anyway. Halo Infinite still has Sprint. I was pretty disappointed with that at first. After playing the multiplayer preview, though, I think they actually finally nailed Sprint. So, when I was playing, I was, like, right off the jump at the beginning of the match, all I did was walk while all the rest of my teammates were sprinting, because I was telling my brother, and he was there with me, I was just like, it really doesn't seem like they made Sprint much faster, if any faster. I don't think sprinting is more than 5% faster than just walking, and that's clearly very intentional, and I think it's the right way to go about it. The way they have Sprint in Halo Infinite, it seems it's more of just like a utility thing, because it enables like you to slide and things like that, as opposed to making it to where you can get across the map so much faster that they have to stretch the maps out to where it just looks weird. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen the video. Just comparing like Truth, Heretic, whatever anyone wants to call the maps, from like Halo 2, Halo 3 to Halo 5. Just the way that they had to clearly stretch out the maps just to make it to where Sprint doesn't seem so weird, or just to accommodate Sprint. Like, it really mess with map flow. So the way they have it now, I'm pretty happy about. You don't move that much faster. Another great thing, though, I think probably more importantly, is like you're not so penalized after sprinting like you were in Halo 5 in a sense. Because in Halo 5, after you sprinted and you were coming out of it, especially if you had sprinted and jumped, like, it took a while. It took way too long for you to be able to shoot your gun after coming out of sprint. In Halo 5, it was really annoying. I think it was also pretty bad in Halo 4, but I definitely remember it being especially noticeable in Halo 5, which I didn't like. It just sucked. So in Halo Infinite, when you come out of sprint, your gun's ready within like a couple of frames, which is awesome. So it doesn't hurt you anymore. Like, the main thing is just like, well, your gun wouldn't always be ready in like Halo 5 or Halo 4, or even sometimes in like Halo Reach. So in other words, you weren't able to shoot like no matter what you were doing. So that Sprint, I'm okay with it being in the game. They implemented it in a really good way, I think, so far. Hopefully we won't see anything outrageously broken or unintentional. Like in Halo 5 at launch, you could sprint, slide, like sprint, thrust, jump, slide, and all that stuff, and you could fly, literally almost literally fly across the map, and it was ridiculous. I don't think we'll see anything like that in Halo 5, or if we were, I kind of feel like it would have popped up inside the preview already. The other thing that I was kind of hoping that they would keep from Halo 5 is clamber. I like clamber. The negative in Halo 5, though, is once again, just like Sprint, they had to build the maps that accommodate clamber, because it was more so, it was just like, oh man, we really want you to, we really want you to use this, since we put it in the game, so we're going to design the maps to where you basically have to use it. And it hurt, again, like Sprint did, in terms of like being able to have your gun ready all the time. But Halo Infinite, it has clamber, but they like they updated it in a good way again. So I'm for sure, like, if you played like Halo 3 or Halo 2, but it was yeah, Halo 2 or Halo 3, but I really remember it being bad sometimes in Halo 3. It just sucked. If like your Spartan, you were making a jump, and if you were going to miss the jump by literally the height of your Spartan's toe, then you just wouldn't make the jump and they would fall off the map, which was ridiculous. So I was happy when clamber came, because crap like that wouldn't happen anymore. Clamber in Halo 5 has some issues like glitches. Sometimes you just have to clamber twice for some odd reason, like they just wouldn't clamber the first time. In Halo Infinite, though, they kind of, like, if you do a crouch jump and you're once again in that situation to where it's just like literally a like a Spartan's toe height away from actually being able to make the jump, it'll just kind of push you over. You don't even make a clamber animation or anything like that. You just get knocked, like pushed over the edge, and you just make the jump, which I like a lot. Your weapon stays up, you can still shoot, things like that. You won't be in a ridiculous situation of just falling off the map when you clearly could have just grabbed one. Except now you don't have to. You just move over it. It's kind of like an auto clamber deal. It's really nice. I like that a lot. So I think that'll be really good. I kind of want to talk about the maps, like each of the multiplayer maps that we played so far. Let me figure this out real quick. So we have Bazaar, Live Fire, and Recharge, I think it was. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the maps. Yeah, Recharge, Live Fire, and Bazaar. Sweet. Let's start with Live Fire. Live Fire, I think, is a pretty good map. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I think all the maps are pretty good. Live Fire, however, I don't think will last long in competitive. I just think it's like that little bit too small to where you could probably easily get on top of the enemy team, and there's a good amount of like long sight lines, which is fine. It's just in terms of like spawning in a decent area, I think that might be a problem on Live Fire. And I don't think just like making the map bigger will necessarily fix it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it would. It's just that map just seems like a little too small. I think it'll be like great for like free for all, like maybe a 6-player free for all, something like that. I think that'll be good. But I feel like it's a little too small for like normal competitive 4v4. But like it worked out fine with bots, but like I just felt like people could get on top of you pretty quick whenever played a few PvP matches on that map. But we'll find out more because we didn't get to play PvP that long in the preview. Recharge, which is like the power generator type map or whatever. That map I think is pretty good. It's a pretty large map, and it's not like a big team battle type large, but it's a decent enough size map to where like my main fear is just like, you know, spawning and then like within 2 seconds or even less, people will be on top of you. Like that might still happen. I didn't get to play the PvP too much on that map, but I don't think it'll happen as much on Recharge, and I think it'll be a good map, even for competitive. It seems like it might be a pretty decent map. Bazaar, I think, is probably my favorite map, and that might have something to do with it just being like purely symmetrical. So you know, it's the same on both sides for both teams. I think that'll be a pretty good map. It's kind of weird because I expected like off the jump on right or left, depending on how you look at it. But there's like buildings that lead up to where you can look over, which is usually camo, I think, or whatever power it might be, in the center of the map. I just thought that those buildings one had a palm tree in it. I figured they would, like, you'd be able to run out the front of them as opposed to having to go up top. I don't know. They might change that because they did something similar to that in Halo 5 during the beta. In between the beta and the actual release, Empire, the map actually changed to where you can run up and through the front of the bases. Well, no, I think they took away the... I have to look back at it. Anyway, the map changed a little bit. I think opening up either one of those areas, or both areas on both sides of the map, might happen. It just seemed a little weird that they weren't. But other than that, Bazaar, good map. I mean, it's symmetrical, usually the best. I think it's a pretty decent size. You should be fine with spawns, like, and competitive and things like that. And there's a few, like, I guess you can say, not secret pathways, but there's, like, a couple of pathways throughout the map on the backside of rockets. And that's pretty cool. And I didn't find that out until I was watching the live stream. I was just like, oh, that's nice. It's just another way to get through the map. I like it. Like, there's a good amount of ways to actually get around the map in that one. So I think Bazaar Recharge will be fine for like 4v4 competitive. Yeah, I don't know about Live Fire. I feel like that one probably won't make the cut unless they change it up somehow. Anyway, moving on to the weapons. I like the assault rifle. I think it's in a good spot again. It doesn't really seem like there's enough rounds in the mag to actually kill 2 people from what I saw. I was watching people do like the little firing range test. I didn't get to test it out myself. It's just what I viewed anyway. It doesn't seem like it's enough rounds to actually kill 2 people, but it still seems like an actual viable weapon, which is nice. I always like the assault rifle. It doesn't need to be able to like murder someone with like a sniper or cross like sand trap or anything like that, but I feel like it should be able to at the very least somewhat compete in like a medium range setting, or like, well, mainly just close quarters. Like if it's a guy with an assault rifle versus a guy with a BR inside close quarters, I feel like the guy with the assault rifle should have a chance if he's hitting all the shots. Unlike in like Halo 3 tours, it's like, well, battle rifle's king basically, no matter what the distance, almost no matter what the distance anyway. But yeah, I like the way it looks. I like the way it plays out. I think it should be good. I still think that they'll probably have it to where BRs will be the starting weapon at some point inside of competitive. I don't know if it will be at launch. I can't remember if they said yes or no to that yet. But I think it'll be fine. I think the assault rifle will be fine. Like AR starts, I won't like immediately switch to my Magnum. More than likely anyway, unless the Magnum drastically changes in between now and launch. I probably won't be switching to my Magnum immediately. Whenever like a match starts in Halo Infinite for like big team battle or something like that, or just like any competitive game mode, any game mode, because in Halo 5 right now it's just like they might as well not even give you assault rifle in a grand majority of the game modes if they also give you a Magnum, because no one's using the AR. The Magnum's just that good. So anyway, speaking of Magnum, I kind of like the way it is now, because it's not like a primary weapon in a sense. And it's just like it's not the Halo Infinite's version of a BR like it was in Halo 5, or Halo 3 BR anyway. Like it was in Halo 5. It's just like, yeah, pull out your Magnum, and it's just like, and then after the weapon tuning update, it's just like, yeah, Magnum's better than BR2 at this point. Which is crazy. So I think it's in a good spot. Like if you can hit all your shots, which, you know, good on you if you can. You can drop people pretty quickly with the Magnum. But like I said, it's just not going to be like this is the gun that you're going to have to use in pretty much every situation. Because anything else just isn't great at all. So yeah, Magnum, good spot. I'm okay. The fire rate seems good. It's it just reminds me a lot of the Halo 2 Magnum, except you can't dual wield it, so I think it's good. Battle rifle, I think it's in a good spot. It felt really weird at first to use, so like trying to get a 4-shot. I don't know. have to play around with it a lot more. We're trying to get a 4-shot, or a perfect kill anyway. Was not happening for me at first, but yeah, I think it's good. It's back. It looks like the Halo 3, Halo 2 BR, which is pretty cool. Sounds awesome. Like I didn't hate the BR in Halo 4 or Halo 5. Well, like pre-weapon tuning update in Halo 5, the BR is pretty good. And I like the way the BR looked in Halo 4. It just sounded pretty... It didn't sound great. And then Halo 5, it ended up sucking out the rock. But in Halo Infinite, I think the BR is in a good spot. In a sense, it's back to its old glory. But, it's not the king anymore. Like, as long as it's a pickup... Like, I'm cool with BR starts and, like, competitive and stuff like that. But, if they make it a pickup, I think that's fine, too. Like, it just doesn't need to be the main weapon all the time. But I just fear, like I said before, I just don't want them to be like, alright, so just switch to your Magnum at the beginning of a match. So that's kind of why I just want BR starts. It just looks weird having everyone walk around with the Magnum all the time. And it's just like, even if Halo 1 was like that, still. Pulse Carbine, at first I didn't like this at all until I figured out, I kept playing around with it, because at first I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to use this, but I kept playing around with it because I was just like, no, I want to figure out how this gun works. And after I figured that out, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, this will be a pretty good weapon, I think. Especially at long range. I mean, it tracks. It does a lot of damage. I think it's like a 2-burst, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, it's just like, yeah, it's very powerful, it tracks, but, like, you're gonna, like, know where you're getting shot from pretty quick. If, like, someone's shooting you with the Pulse Carbine, so you should be able to, like, should have time to take cover before the second burst hits you. Plus, I mean, you gotta really hit all those shots anyway. So, I think Pulse Carbine would be fun, because during the campaign trailer that was last year, like, well, yeah, last E3, I believe, before the game got delayed, like, that and, like, the Ravager, I was just like, well, like, it seems like they just have... It seems like they got 2 Covenant weapons doing the same thing, basically, but, after actually getting hands on both of them, it's definitely different. So I think Pulse Carbine would be, I think it'll be pretty good. The Ravager, I feel like it should be like if you're using a normal burst, it should kill in 2 bursts. Like, I feel like having to use that 3rd burst just to kill somebody, it seems like a little too much. And, I don't know if they really want to make sure it's not the exact same as like the plasma caster in Halo 5, but I kind of feel like if you charge it up and that main energy blast like directly hits somebody, that it should at least knock shields out, because the flames don't kill, like, that's not taking away your health or shields very quickly at all. So I feel like someone would still be able to get out of that, even if like their shields drop and someone wasn't able to finish the kill, that you could still probably just run out of the flames and be okay. But I do like the Ravager. I think I like the flames more than the plasma caster, actually, because it just works as a pretty decent area denial. Because of hit markers, though, like, it also it could be like in a sense, cheap way to know if someone's like in a certain area, like, or in a corner or something like that, and it's just like, oh, well, I got hit markers, so someone's probably there. Which I think is fine. Like, most of the time, you're probably not going to use it that way anyway, or at least I know I didn't. But yeah, I think Ravager's pretty good weapon. The Commando, I think I definitely still need to get more time with that gun, but it seems like it's going to be a pretty decent DMR replacement. People who like play on mouse and keyboard will probably love that and probably destroy with it, honestly. But I know, like, the pros who've been playing on controller for a long time, you know, they'll be able to play just as well, basically. I mean, we've had MCC cross-platform play for a while now, and they still kick butt. So, but yeah, I actually like the Commando. That was another weird gun at the campaign demo last year. And it's just like is it just automatic? I don't know. It's like almost, I thought maybe some kind of weird SMG replacement type deal, But no, yeah, I think it'll be a fine gun. It's gonna take some effort. Like I feel like it's definitely harder so far to use than like a DMR. DMR, Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Reach weren't the hardest guns in the world to use, especially like Halo 4. And the only reason why it was like somewhat hard, somewhat hard in Halo Reach is just because of Bloom. So effectively, it wasn't that hard. You just need to not shoot as fast most of the time. And Halo 5 was also pretty powerful. But I felt like they were pretty easy guns to use. Maybe it's because I've been using them for a while, but the Commando is just going to take a little more effort, I think. Which, you know, is fine by me. But after playing with it, I think it's going to be a good addition. It fits a different role pretty well. So, new rockets. I love the way the rockets look. I think the blast radius is pretty large. Like they reintroduced the Spanker in Halo 5, but it seemed like the splash damage and like the blast radius was definitely smaller than the rocket launcher that they used in Halo 5. Which, I mean, it's fine. It was just a little weird. I don't know, you know, like the classic rocket launcher just it just isn't as good as the new one. Then everyone wanted the classic one back anyway. The classic Spanker look awesome. So there's that gravity hammer. I like the gravity hammer, like the way it is. Like you don't get the lunge, which I'm cool with because I feel like that kind of screwed you sometimes. But I feel like it just attacks a hair too slow. Like I feel like it just needs to swing like a little bit faster, not by much, but just a tiny bit. It just seems a little too slow right now. But I think it'll work fine. It needs to be different from the sword, and I think it is now, which is good because like it felt somewhat. Sometimes it just felt like a worse sword, and then that was pretty much it. But I think the gravity hammer is in a good spot now. Let's see, sniper rifle. That's fun. I mean, it didn't really seem to change that much from the other Halo games. But they're at least in between Halo 5 and Infinite. The magnetism for it, and when I say magnetism, I mean like the bullet effectively homing or like self-correcting from your shot is like reduced so significantly to where it might be completely gone. Like it pretty much feels like it's just not there anymore, which is perfectly fine by me. I think that's good. Because always like sniping in like Halo 3, Halo 2, or like Halo 1, they weren't always the easiest things in the world, which was pretty much fine by me. So you want to be pretty, you just need to be good at it. And like there was just way too many clips in like Halo 5, to where like your aimer literally wasn't on the person, but the shot would still hit them and kill them. And, like it got pretty bad in Halo 5. So in Halo Infinite, it seems a whole lot better. So you know, people actually really need to be precise with their shots. So I'm cool with that. Sniper seems good. I like the way it looks now too. Like, love the way it sounds. It sounds awesome. I can't remember the name of the new like banished skewer. That's what it is. Yeah, skewer. That seems cool. It's like replacing the role in a sense of the Promethean, the binary rifle. And it's a one shot, and then you have to reload. I like that. Seeing as it's a one shot, no matter where you hit the person, anyway, I think that if you know them keeping that's fine. But the way they have it set up now, I think it's really good because like you have to shoot. If you miss, you're gonna have to reload. So you're definitely gonna make sure that you hit the person. And once again, you know, it's not like Halo 5, to where it's just like, oh yeah, you're in the general vicinity, you hit. So you have to be precise, which is good. So the one shot keeps it very balanced. Having to reload afterwards, the reload time is pretty lengthy too, which is pretty good. I'm okay with that. So I think that gun will work out pretty well. I'm a little worried about it in campaign though. I didn't like the bots didn't pick up the skewer, and I didn't really go up against anyone who had it. So I don't know if there is like a system like the binary rifle or like a beam rifle in like Halo 5, to where there's like a massive glow or glint or something like that to, you know, kind of balance it out and be like, oh yeah, there's a guy over there with a skewer. That way, you know to get out of there or try to run away. It seems like it might have like a little bit of travel time, so you might have to lead your shot, I think, a little bit. Like the maps we were playing on weren't the largest, so it's kind of hard for me to tell. But you might have to lead your shot just a hair if they're like really far away. Which, once again, you know, that's fine. If not, that's okay. Like I said, it seems like a pretty balanced weapon from what I got to play with it. Alright, so I guess moving on to the shotguns, Heat Wave and the Bulldog. Once again, like, it just kind of sucked. I'm saying this again, that campaign trailer last year, like, trying to get a feel for what some of these weapons were going to do, or how they were going to be balanced in, like, multiplayer and things like that. Like, I know it's campaign, so obviously it won't necessarily be 100% representative, but, I think starting with the Bulldog, I think it's fine. I actually like it. Like, it doesn't one-tap at close range. You know, it's still like a classic Halo shotgun to where, you know, one-shot beatdown if you're at close enough range. But, more importantly, it actually has killing power at a decent range, which is definitely something that, like, it just kind of sucked after, like, a while. Well, actually, pretty much after Halo 1. Like, after Halo 1, the shotgun pretty much had no range. And, like, it's not like the shotgun was killing at range in Halo 1 anyway, because the spread was so, like, god-awful, which is fine. It's a good balance. But I feel like you should still be able to actually hit something, or like the bullet shouldn't just vaporize, or the pellets anyway. So I think the Bulldog is good. The fire rate seems fine, and it can kill at range, which is it's good. I actually like it. I think it's fun. I still kind of hope that we see the classic shotgun. I've been wanting like the Halo 1 shotgun. To come back in like Halo 5 for Firefight or something like that, just for the fun of it, because I just love the way that the classic Halo 1 shotgun looked. It just looks so cool. It's very unique. But yeah, Bulldog, I think it'll be good. I think it's in a good place so far when playing with it. The Heat Wave, I think I need to play with that more. Like the bounce mechanic's pretty cool. Maybe I still kind of feel like it just doesn't kill fast enough, in a sense. Like, it just seems kind of weird, even at, like, somewhat of a short distance, to hit, like, most of your shots, or all your shots, and it not even, like, drop shields, or not, like, just one-tap people. So, I feel like I'll probably just need to play with that one more, especially once release comes out, and, I'll have a much better opinion of it, but... sometimes I kind of wish it honed like the scatter shot, but you know, once again, if they're just trying to make something that's not the same as the other guns from previous Halos, I think that's fine. It does, like, it goes much further, like the ricochet, like the shots keep going for a lot longer, which is pretty awesome. I think it'll probably be a fine weapon. I just need to play with it more, so we'll see. Alright, I think that's all the guns, I hope. Well, I mean, like, besides plasma pistol. I didn't play around with it too much. It does seem like it can kill again, though, which is nice, as opposed to, like, you know, Halo 3 or Halo 2, to where it's just like, yeah, this thing needs to overheat even after the person's shields are gone to actually kill him, basically. So it seems, I think it can kill again, which is, you know, cool by me. Oh man, I almost forgot my favorite weapon. One of my favorite weapons in Halo, Needler. Needler's cool. Shoots. It sounds like it shoots like dumb quick. Though sometimes it also seems like it just takes more needles than it did before to actually kill somebody. But it's probably vastly unchanged. But I love the way it looks. It sounds awesome. So kind of once again, Needler's Needler. Tracking seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to make a Needler worse than it was in like Halo 2. The tracking on that was so slow and so awful. But I think that was mainly just because she could dual wield it. They didn't want it to be that powerful. I guess technically wasn't too great. Nah, it felt better. Anyway, yeah, Needler's kind of Needler. I'm pretty happy about that. Everyone, like, you gotta love the Needler. That thing's just a lot of fun. You shoot somebody and they just go boom. So I think that'll be fun. I guess let's talk about like equipment and grenades and things like that. Glad the spike grenade's back. It seems like it has some slight homing off the ricochet shots, or the ricochet spikes anyway, that bounces off of something. I'm cool with that. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, it's better than like one of the spikes doing massive damage, I think, anyway. So that's fun. Regular frags feel awesome. You know, they bounce like you'd expect them to bounce in Halo. Plasma is pretty much the same way. One major improvement, though, for like the plasmas and I guess regular frag grenades too, just any of the grenades or explosives in general in Halo Infinite compared to Halo 5. And Halo 5, like you go actually look at it or like kind of pay attention. Like you get hit by a grenade, that crap's blinding. Like a plasma goes off beside you, that crap is blinding, and it's really annoying. Like any explosion goes off near you, it's just like, yeah, your screen gets all distorted, you just can't see crap, and it's just like, look man, I already took damage, I don't need to make it, you don't have to make it to where I can't see anything now too. So I'm glad that's changed in Halo 5, because Jesus, and in Halo Infinite, and because in Halo 5 that crap was so bad. It's fine now. All the grenades kind of like feel fine. Like, kind of like they're supposed to, you know. I mean, I don't know how much I could really say about that besides the change of the spike grenade. I am happy the spike grenade's back. I think I like the spike grenade more than like a splinter grenade or the pulse grenade, I think it was in Halo 4. Even though that, you know, that's just like another nice area with denial type of deal. But yeah, I'd rather just I like the spike grenade better. Equipment's back. I think the equipment is. I like the equipment. Like always was a fan of like equipment in Halo 3. So you know they got the like drop shield type thing. Well, the deployable cover anyway. That's good. I feel like that needs to deploy just a hair faster. Like pretty much just like the gravity hammer. I understand like they don't want any of the equipment to be like immediate instant use, which I think is fine. But I think they need to have that thing deployed just like a little bit faster. I also understand like some other people were saying that it was like very weak, like takes like 2 shots from anything to kind of break. I mean, I'm kind of fine with that. I think you just need to use that in a pinch, and like most of the time those 2 shots, like especially if it's like a battle with like a BR or whatever, if you can get even one more burst than your enemy, you're in a pretty great spot behind that shield. So I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I think they called it either a sonar detector or sonar grenade type deal. I think that's. I like that. I think it's fine. I don't know if I see that. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I see any of the equipment actually lasting in competitive play, because they usually strip the game down. But I think it's fine. I like that. You can toss it sticks to walls. I do wonder if you can throw it on a teammate. I wanted to try that out, but I didn't get a chance. So you could just have like a teammate be walking around and pulsing enemies. I think that'd be a pretty cool strategy. But yeah, I think it's good. You can destroy it too, just like the deployable cover, which is nice. So if it doesn't pulse you the first time, but you see like where it is, you can just walk around the corner or wherever, find out wherever it is and destroy it. That way it won't pulse you the next time. So that's good. You know, so it won't like work like in a sense like Promethean Vision, to where it's just like, oh man, the only way to not be on Promethean Vision is to kill the guy with Promethean Vision or something like that. So I think that's a good balance there. Active camo and overshields. I do like that they also slot into the equipment now. So, like, you can just kind of use them whenever you want to. I think I'm going to go back to competitive again, because I like watching competitive Halo. That will be interesting to see in competitive, though, right? Because you want to, like, a big thing is timing on, like, equipment and weapons. So running to get active camo and but not immediately using it. Same thing with like overshields could be that could be interesting in terms of competitive, because like one team's gonna have a massive advantage with that, and it's just like, hey, this is when I used it, I like actually used it, and this is like when it was used up, so it's gonna be up in like 90 seconds from here, unless I'm mistaken, unless it's just like I highly doubt you can have 2 camos on the map at once, so it should work on use. Like as soon as you use it, then the timer starts for it to actually respawn. So camo overshields, I feel like that'll be like, that's going to be interesting, the way that's going to play out. But I do like it. I think the deployment times, I think it's long enough, because you just don't want someone like with overshields to be like mid battle and it's just like, haha, I just got all my shields back after you made me almost one shot. Which is, I know that's what they were trying to avoid, and I think they did a good job of that. Even like something simple as just like, oh, I'll just walk around the corner and deploy it, and it's just like, well, if you're already weak and someone chucks a grenade, you're probably gonna die, even if you are around the corner. Like the grenade will go off and kill you beforehand, which I'm cool with. I just, I understand they really just don't want anyone just be activating something like that mid-fight, which is right. Another thing, I think it's fun, and I actually like it how like weapons are back like as pickups on the map, all over the map. And I think they did the next step, which is pretty awesome, because like Halo 5, they will call out like when weapons are almost up, and they do the same thing in Halo Infinite. But you can see, in a sense, more precisely when something's coming back up based on the little blue or like sometimes yellow circle or triangle or square or just a line. Just depends on like weapons pickups and grenades and stuff like that. Power weapons too. You can see that wherever they're like placed, you can actually see how long it's going to take for those things to come back. I think that is awesome. A lot of people didn't notice that at first. They were just trying to figure out what these little lines were. But I saw that pretty early on, and I was just like, oh, now that's good. I think that's really awesome. Like, it doesn't have an actual timer, so you don't know like the precise amount of seconds or whatever. But like, if camo's up in 60 seconds, or let's just say a power weapon or grenades are up every 60 seconds. If the circle or the line or the triangle, or depending on what it is let's say the circle is 25% of the way filled, then it's like 15 seconds before that's up. Or camo might have a triangle and it's 90 up every 90 seconds. Then if the triangle's 30% of the way filled, and it's just like, alright, so it's got another minute before it pops back up. Stuff like that. I like that a lot. I think it's a lot better than it was in Halo 5, because you can actually pulse as you're starting, and you can see where like weapons, grenades, and stuff like that are like placed on the map, which is pretty awesome. I do miss though, like in the beginning of Halo 5, which I liked a lot, is they would like show you what weapons are on the map, and in a sense, somewhat where they are. So it's just like, alright, so what's this map have? And it's just like, well, this map has rockets, snipers, and like active camo. Those are like the main power weapons are on this map. I do miss that. I hope they bring that back. Like the little Spartan intro animation things, I feel like we're just going back through the Halo 5 beta all over again. Because that had the little outros with the Spartans over there celebrating, and that went away very quickly. Which, I mean, it's kind of cool the first couple of times, but it just gets really cheesy. Like, it's always cheesy, like it looks cheesy. Or just like corny or whatever, but yeah, I thought it was more useful in Halo 5, where they just showed you like power weapons and power-ups and stuff on the map. I think that's more useful than just seeing your Spartans like salute or just cross their arms or punch the air and stuff like that. Like, they're probably doing that way they can sell like, oh, it's just like, oh man, get your intro animations packs here or something like that, seeing as it's gonna be free to play multiplayer, and it's just like, oh yeah, I don't really care. Personally, I don't really care that much, but other people probably will. But anyway, back to the weapons. Yeah, the way weapons spawn, they're on the wall, they're on the ground, grenades, stuff like that. I think it's cool. Oh man, I skipped over the grapple hook. So grapple hook's fun. I was a little worried about that at first, but I was also at the same time just like, well, man, I love the meat hook in Doom Eternal, so this will probably be pretty fun. Yeah, grapple hook's awesome. You still can, it's in like maybe 1 or 2 of my gameplay videos, but you can grapple camo or overshields. It'll just grapple, it'll either only grapple to you if you have more than 1 grapple left, and then you can choose to switch it out. But if you're on your last grapple hook shot and you know, snatch camo or overshields, it'll go into your inventory, but sometimes it seems like it automatically applied it. But at the very least, it'll just pop up in your inventory, so you don't have to bother picking it up because you already picked it up. That's awesome. I like that a lot. So yeah, grapple hook. I think it's fine. I think what they need to do though is like add some kind of icon, like either just like an X or a check or something, like an X or a circle. Circle meaning that, yeah, it's like if you actually activate the button, or like if you try to use the grapple hook, it'll actually work. And X is just like, yeah, it's not going to work. Because there was a few times where it's just like, well, it looks like it should work, and I'd shoot it out and it doesn't, and then I'd just try it again and it would. So might just be like a bug, but I feel like they need a better indication of, it's just like, yeah, you can actually go flying across the map. If they do have it, I didn't. Oh, wait, no, they do have it. Excuse me. It's like a minuscule, tiny little crosshair inside of your crosshair that shows that you can, and if you can't, it just disappears. I feel like they need to change that, make it a little more obvious in some way. Because it just doesn't seem like it's accurate all the time. So, but anyway, overall, grapple hooks should be fun. I think it'll be fun. Once again, not everybody has it, so it doesn't seem like the entire map is designed around you only being able to get to this certain area by grapple hook or the grapple shot, using that to get over there. Yeah, it's not terribly fast. It doesn't shoot you like across the map. Once again, which is, I think it's good, but it, you know, it gets you moving. It's faster than sprinting, obviously. But yeah, overall, I like it. One thing that is gone is that I was kind of surprised about is thrust. You know, I mean, most of the time I was cool with thrust in Halo 5. The only one of the only downsides I thought about thrust in Halo 5 is it just goes back to the whole visibility thing, to where it's just like you thrust and then like they had to make some effect to make it very obvious that you thrust, so it just makes it hard for me to see sometimes. But I was kind of surprised that went away, because I thought it was like it could be like a good 4th leg of Halo as opposed to like sprint. It's just like, yeah, you could thrust. This is like something that everybody has. You can't use it all the time, but you know, it seemed okayly balanced in Halo 5, I guess. But that's gone. That makes me a little sad. I didn't miss it too much. Like the issue I had with thrust just mainly came from any weapon that had tracking, like, or yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, like a needler. Like the needler would just lose tracking if someone thrust. So that was pretty annoying. Yeah, that's alright though. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I did want to talk about the campaign a little bit though. Once again, I know it was only like 2 or so minutes, if that, from what they showed in the of campaign, but I liked it a lot, mainly because of the way the Master Chief actually like looked at the Marines. Like, you know, since pretty much 343 took over, they, you know, want to, in a sense, show that like Chief is still human, and it's just like there's still a person under that suit or under the helmet. And I think that for the most part, I think that they did a pretty good job of that in like Halo 4. I mean, we only got like 3 missions with Chief in Halo 5, and only the first one seemed. I only ever played the first one, which I'm pretty sure is his blue team in Halo 5, and I don't even do that very often. But I think they did a pretty good job at like showing the Master Chief is still like human. He has emotions, not just like a machine. I think that's kind of one thing that 343 did a decent job at. Like, not to say that Bungie didn't do a good job when they wanted to. Like, you know, in like Halo 3, I still, you know, the whole relationship that, you know, Chief and Cortana had, I still think that they did a pretty decent job with that. But, yeah, I think in Halo Infinite, they're probably going to do a really good job with that. We got Marine Buddy. Hopefully they don't kill Marine Buddy. I'd be pretty upset. I think everybody's going to be upset if they kill Marine Buddy. But mainly just the way the Master Chief actually like looked at the Marines and held the Marines, especially as opposed to the Covenant when he was flying around in space. I think they were, you know, trying to. They just did a good job of making Chief seem like a human, or like that, you know, he really cared. Because I mean, obviously he does, but I think that was nice. That gives me some hope for the campaign, because like Halo 5's campaign was. I think saying very, if you called it very okay, like very, 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 very mediocre, I think might be the nicest way you could put that campaign. And I'm gonna go off on a tangent here for a second, but like I want the like Halo 5's campaign. I want the really like Locke, because the marketing, like Halo 5's campaign marketing, was some of the best marketing for a campaign I've seen. With like Hunt the Truth and all of that, you know, so it was pretty easy to get hype, and then the campaign comes out. You're like, I don't think anyone really cared for Locke. No one really cared for Osiris' team that much. I mean, they made Buck a Spartan. I don't know if they can go back on that and be like, yeah, Buck's an ODST now. I'm like, oh, right, my man back in his ODST armor. Like, I mean, I know as a Spartan he has like ODST armor on anyway, but still, yeah, I wanted to like Locke, and I think that Locke could be an awesome character, because I mean he has like an awesome. He's supposed to be like one of Oni's like best like someone to assassinate other people, like hitman essentially. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds awesome. His armor actually looked pretty neat too. So it's just like everything in Halo 5's campaign almost is pretty disappointing and underwhelming. Like, we didn't really get to play around, like, we didn't get Marines to, you know, be buddy around with. They didn't have, like, awesome, like, combat dialogue that, like, they're supposed to, and normally do in, like, every other Halo game and stuff like that. Yeah, it just all fell apart. But anyway, I have a lot more hope for Halo Infinite's campaign. It looks pretty good. We get the weapon, which, I mean, it's kind of sad that all they can name that. that poor AI is just like, she's the weapon. Like, I understand there's just like, yeah, we're gonna delete her after her mission's complete and stuff like that, but I just feel like that's so sad that where it's just like, she's called the weapon. But I think it'll be fun. She seems pretty cool. Master Chief's just like, yeah, you're gonna be coming with me. So I'm pretty happy about that. We're gonna have another AI, you know, in our head, so that should be good times. So even if like Marine Buddy isn't talking to us most of the time, at some point she will be. I don't know where in the campaign, but you know, we'll get her. So have her for like, just going to, like, if you go back and play Halo 1's campaign, it was just cool, like how like Cortana definitely evolved outside of more just someone who would tell you like what's going on and like your like any given level or whatever, and be like, hey man, we should go check on the lifeboats over there. Or just like Covenant tactical plans, and like just giving you updates like that about the state of the world going on. I like that. I think if we have something like that, it would be pretty cool, as long as it doesn't get too annoying. Which actually reminds me about the personalized AI. Bears worth mentioning. Once again, I didn't get to play as much as my brother because he got the invite for the preview and I didn't. I'm gonna be honest, I'll probably turn the personalized AI off. It's not that I dislike them, I like them a lot. I just, I'd rather just hear the announcer, like, you know, the classic Halo announcer tell me about crap going on, like my double kills or killing sprees and crap like that. I think the personalized AI would be pretty cool though, because I like them, like in Titanfall. You can Titanfall 2, well, 1 and 2. You got to choose on 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure 2. I know in 1. They added it at some later point, but you can change the AI voice inside your Titan suit, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. So I think the personalized AI will be, I think they'll be fun. I just don't know if I'll keep them on. Just like the Spartan banter in Halo 5. It was useful because they would do like call outs and be like, oh yeah, we got an enemy over there, I'm getting shot from X place or whatever. I mean, it was kind of stupid to where it's just like, hey man, you're low on sniper ammo. It's just like, oh gee, thanks. I mean, I have sniper, you don't have sniper, I don't know how you know that, or why it should really be that much of your concern, but you know, I think they'll probably be okay. If they, there should be a lot more, you know, once again. I hope there's enough free ones to where it's just, especially at launch, ones that I like, to where it's not yeah, it's just like, hey man, why don't you go ahead and buy this personalized AI pack for $4.99? So it's like, once again, I understand the game's free to play. It's just, I hope there's just enough there, especially for anyone who buys the game for $60. Hopefully there's enough there at launch. Like a Sergeant Johnson, you know, personalized AI would be pretty awesome. I'd probably roll with that forever. Or Sergeant Stacker. I'm just going back to Halo Reach, like firefight AI or noises. I mean, voices at this point. So, you know, Stacker, Antidot, Johnson, Cortana, you know, Weapon, even Isabel, like all of them, Serena, that'd be cool. Like, if they could get those voice actors to do stuff, that'd be awesome. Or, you know, Pelican Echo 419, that'd be pretty hyped. Stuff like that, like, that'll be fun. I'll probably turn it back on at that point. But they don't really seem too annoying. No, not everyone likes them, and I'm pretty, you can just turn them off as far as I know. But yeah, overall, I think Halo Infinite will probably shape up to be a pretty good game. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say I recorded all that before I found out about the co-op campaign delay, along with what was the other thing? Forge. Not being there at launch, and that's coming like months after release, which so pretty much I'm like what I just already said. That's pretty much how I felt before like the co-op campaign delay and Forge delay got announced. Forge, like personally, I'm not too upset about that. I just have the last time I had time to Forge was back in Halo Reach, like a lot of times, so like that was 10 years ago at this point. So I haven't really messed with Forge in a long time. Since at the very least the Master Chief Collection, I haven't messed with Forge in a very long time. That being said, people can do a lot of amazing things with Forge, and it can make up for bad launch maps. As long as it doesn't make up completely the launch maps, or like part of the launch maps like it did in Halo 5. That was annoying. They weren't even good. Campaign co-op, I'm pretty upset about. I'm not even gonna lie. Me and my brother are gonna go play through the game on Legendary the night of release, like we did with like the last few Halo games. Like at least Halo 5. No, it's just like the last few ones. Anyway, I'm pretty. I don't know how that got by. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how they are like, you know, split screen co-op and multiplayer. I don't know how they let that slide. That, oh man, like the game has to, like, if the game doesn't release in a nearly perfect state, like if it turns into a cyberpunk situation, yeah, man, that's gonna be so bad for the game for at least a little while. I mean, granted, multiplayer should, like, I mean, at least the game has multiplayer, so you know it'll recover. It's free to play, so you don't have to pay for it. But that has me worried again about the release of the game, which is sad because, you know, even though the technical preview had some issues, it wasn't even that many issues from what I could see anyway, or experience. So, you know, I wasn't too worried. I'm just happy we actually got to play it before release, and it seemed like a pretty stable game for the most part. That part though, that does have me a little worried, because they were just like, yeah, I mean, this was a while ago, you know, like pre-COVID. It's just like Infinite's gonna have co-op at launch, and it's just like, yes, and then you know, it's not, so that kind of sucks. Like I said, has me worried. I'm back on how I felt like the last year before they delayed the game. I'm a little worried, I'm not gonna lie, because they only got a few months left. December 8th is when it's happening, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm playing through that solo, the campaign that is anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that'll be fun. Lord knows I hope that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm like, that just put a damper on things, to be honest. It's concerning thinking about. Hopefully 343 will get it straight. Yeah. I hope it'll be fun. Like, I know, like, COVID has to be to blame. 343 is a massive studio, so to have to send, like, all those people home to work, like, remotely and stuff like that, that undoubtedly had to mess things up and slow things down for a while. So, hopefully they'll be able to actually, because ideally they want to get it in after the first season, which their seasons they're aiming for every 3 months. So hopefully after, you know, early-ish next year, we'll be able to play through the campaign co-op together and split screen and all that stuff. For those who, you know, can't get multiple Xboxes, and if you're trying to get a Series X or S right now, it's pretty hard. S's have been decently in stock from what I've seen. X's, yeah, forget about it. So for anyone who wants to experience it on one of those consoles or don't even have an Xbox right now, hopefully they can get one and play the game. But yeah, overall, you know, I'm still pretty excited about Halo Infinite. I think it's gonna be a good game. I have hope, a lot of hope. You know, it's been like 6 years. So yeah, I will say things that, like, I mean, we're pretty much near the end of the video, I'm pretty sure, but things that gave me hope was 343 announcing that the Banished would be in Halo. Banished are awesome. If you haven't played Halo Wars 2 campaign, a slight spoiler, I don't like the way it ends for the most part. It just seems like Halo 2-like. If you played Halo 2, you'll know what I mean. But I love the Banished. Very, very excited to be killing brutes again, and elites. Elites are there too, but mainly the brutes. I just want to kill brutes again, as opposed to Prometheans. I'm really hoping that the Prometheans don't show back up. And like, I didn't hate them. I'm so, like, by the time Halo 5 came out, and for a couple of years after that, I just got so tired of shooting at robots. I'm not even gonna lie. Like playing like Infinite Warfare, like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It's campaign. Great campaign. A lot of robots in there. Got tired of doing that. Play Titanfall, you know, still shooting robots in there. I got just a little tired of it. I just want to stop shooting at metal things that explode and blur my vision for like no reason. So awesome to see the Banisher back, because, you know, I think they just did a good job with that in Halo Wars 2. It was just cool to see. It's just like, all right, another like Covenant faction. So I'm excited about that. That was a huge bonus. When they announced that for the campaign, I was just like, all right, now we're about to have some fun, I think, anyway. But yeah, overall, still excited. I think the game will be really good. As long as it launches fine. Like, that's the main thing. It just needs to launch very stable. Hopefully the next tech preview, it's going to be a lot more people in it. Hopefully they can push this one out a little more smoothly than the other one, as opposed to it being like 12 hours, or like 8 hours behind or 9 hours behind when they initially wanted to. So, like, that way we'll have a better idea. It's just like, alright, so is launch going to be okay, because it's going to be free to play across a bunch of Xboxes and a metric ton of PCs, and people want a good Halo. So a lot of people are going to be there on day one. I really hope they're ready, and I really hope it'll be good, because you know, we need Halo games. Halo games are awesome. They're extremely iconic. Master Chief is, you know, up there with like Mario. So yeah. Plus, I just want to say, man, we've been getting like good Gears of War games for years, and we've been struggling over here with Halo. I love Gears of War too, like, also, and it kind of sucks. It's like, man, at least like the Gears people, they've been having it pretty good the last few years for the most part, anyway, from what I can tell. Like campaign multiplayer, I know they had some issues with multiplayer, like especially Gears like 5 at launch, but you know, at least they've been consistently getting some Gears of War out there, and we have not been consistently getting Halo games. Like Halo Wars 2, love that game, awesome game. Not a lot of people played it though. But yeah, I think we'll be okay. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Very long-winded, I had a lot of thoughts. You know, I just kind of wanted this to be as complete as, in a sense, I could be about it. So, yeah. I know it's a long video. If you stayed this long, thanks. Hopefully I answered like any questions that might pop up. So, anyway, Thanks for watching.